Oh.
But you can get glasses for like $100. Like the glasses my computer glasses that I was wearing.
Yeah.
They're computer bifocals.
Okay.
I got like all the extra bullshit. They were like maybe $80.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I usually just go to the eye doctor and whatever I find that I like that fits my face is what I get. But I told Liz, I'm like, I should just get LASIK.
They have this cool thing where
Just be done.
you take a picture of your face, and you can put the glass. You can try them on the app or on the website, so that way the Chinese can have pictures of your face.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I'll do that. I'm in for that.
Excuse me. My recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're recording. About a minute in. So while we were eating, we were talking about the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia because I got out the Boone County mating call.
The Boone County mating call, yes. For those that are not aware, it's a
medicine bottle shaker.
It's the sound of a pill bottle. Yes. A pill bottle rattling.
Rattling, yeah. We were talking about Jessica
White and the one
outlaw dancer.
So I never saw that, the Wild Wonderful Whites.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Well, because I feel like it would take away from my experience that I've had with the original documentary.
Jessica's not really in it.
What?
He is.
Is Jessica adjacent?
Well, no, because it's Jessica's kids. It's about his kids.
Okay.
And his sister. Not necessarily about him, because he was actually trying to do something right. Like, that's the thing about the White family in Boone County, West Virginia.
We're not saying white as in, like, trying to identify someone's ethnicity. That is their last name. Their last name is white.
Their last name is white.
Just clearing it up for our listeners.
They just happen to be Asian. They're white.
Just clearing up for Jason, who's the only other person that listens.
Yeah, it's and I think he's watched it actually, but it's like the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia are.
Well, what's it about?
Well, it's about the White family.
Okay.
In Boone County, West Virginia.
Yes.
And they are hellions. Like, the sheriff can't do anything about them, and it's crazy. Like, one guy gets, like, during the whole, like, screening or the recording of the documentary, which is by Dickhouse, which is Jackass.
Yeah.
That's Johnny Knoxville's. Brandon White gets arrested.
What, during filming?
During filming for, and I can't remember exactly what it was for, but he was going to shoot, like, his stepdad or some shit.
Like, was going to kill him?
Oh yeah, it was. But like, they're high as shit all the time. They live in squalor for the most part. The kids are unfucking ruly, like
just bad
the little
people.
kids.
Oh
yeah, they're just bad people in general. Nobody. You don't mess with the whites. Like, that's one of the.
That's like a standing law.
Like a standing law down there in Boone County, and Jessica's in the movie, like, he's in it, but he's not. They don't follow him around. Like, Hank Williams III is singing a song when the movie, the documentary opens up, mm-hmm. and Jessica's dancing on a picnic table, and then they show, like, they talk to Jessica, about, like, he's like, well, I was trying to do this, and I was trying to do that, my daddy, he did, he was, a famous dancer.
Mountain tap dancer.
Yeah, and so it was just, like, he was trying to, basically get the family out of the family business of just being dickheads.
Okay.
And it didn't work. So, but it's I mean, if you want to see how the other half live, that's one to watch.
Which goes back to something I've shared recently in conversations that I guess you could say I grew up kind of sheltered in the respect of from a military standpoint.
Yeah.
And meaning that, like, obviously my parents were both in the service, so there was a certain amount of structure and order and discipline that was, kind of
beat into you.
The boundaries of my upbringing. myself and my sister, but still, I mean, I wasn't like the perfect kid. I still did dumb shit. But the level of dumbassery, it's like a different scale than some people who were not in that type of environment, I guess.
Yeah.
But even from the sheltering aspect, I guess that probably a lot of that has to do with geography and economic status, but like where I lived, like I understood like what the projects were, and I knew people that didn't have as much as I did, like to the fact where like some people I knew never flew on planes, let alone left the country or even been to Disneyland, which was just like an hour and a half away, or not even been out of the county or anything like that. Yeah. So I started to realize like I had like certain opportunities that weren't given to people, but where I lived, it was predominantly brown people of different flavors, mostly Hispanic, being in Southern California, then black. And like at the one middle school I went to, they had like this busing program where I guess they took kids from other parts of the town to like go to this other school, because they just had different programs and shit. So it's not necessarily STEM, but just, I guess, before STEM was STEM. So I went to this different middle school where it was the complete opposite, where there were all the whites were the majority, but this was like rich white people. Yeah. Like I didn't know what rich white people were until I started going to these schools and like making new friends and going to their houses and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is different.
Buffy and Chase.
Yeah. Scott.
And
Allison. And
Dave.
But what I come to learn when I joined the military is one group of people I'd never been exposed to, like living in California or in Japan, was something I came to know as white trash.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to be white to be white trash.
And I don't know if this is like an adjacent subculture, but rednecks.
Yeah, it's adjacent to it.
I was not familiar with those phrases or terms, nor those groups of people.
Yeah. So
when I joined the military and I'm meeting these people from other, these other, let's just say, ethnic groups.
Diversities.
Yeah, diversities, because I know there are some Caucasian folks that will not identify themselves with such said rednecks and white trash.
Well, I will say, you can be white trash and be wealthy. It's not always poor. Redneck is typically poor.
Oh, okay.
White trash, though, you can be rich white trash. It's just all in how you spend your money.
Okay.
So, like, the white trash borderlines, like...
It transcends economic status.
Yeah.
Okay.
So white trash, you can live in a trailer home that's run down and have a car sitting on your lawn, but now you're starting to border, like, redneck bullshit.
Okay.
But rednecks are the yeehaw. They go out, they're always, now it would be side-by-sides. Then it was, three-wheelers, death traps. Or, and they're always like, woo! And they're doing all the, guzzling beer and doing all the white trashy things. But they're rednecks, big trucks and all that shit. But white trash, you can, like, there is rich white trash where they live in a nice house, but they may drive, like, the biggest piece of shit car because they're house poor, essentially. So they're trying to gain status by means of living in, like, a nice house, or they could live in a trailer but drive a really nice car. Mm-hmm. So, and it's just all in how they spend them. Maybe they do a lot of shopping at Walmart, but they're buying all of the NASCAR plates from fucking Home Shopping Network on.
So would rednecks be more of a culture?
Yeah, redneck is more of a culture.
Where white trash is like a state of mind?
Yeah, I mean, white trash is a position you put yourself in.
Oh, so you don't just... Well, I guess...
You can be born...
I guess you could be born into white trash and become white trash, but I guess you could be born into white trash and realize that that's just not...
And you can get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You can't get yourself out of being a fucking redneck. That shit is DNA.
That's branded. That's on you.
That's it.
It's in you. It's not on you. Yeah.
It's in you. Like I have a friend. I have a friend who's Philippine. She's Philippine. She's great people. She is fucking redneck.
Okay. I have a friend like that. Like just Filipino. Like his parents are Filipino. He's Filipino, but he was raised in like Louisiana, like in the bayous. And when you talk to him, he sounds like Boonhauer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so that's Christina.
It is really confusing the first time you meet Pac.
So
Pacheco's his last name. You just call him Pac.
So Pac is that's in his DNA.
Yeah.
Christina chose redneck, but it's now in her kid's DNA. So you can, it's like once you go black, you never go back. You can choose to go redneck, but you'll never return. I can't.
Oh, so it's like one of those check valves.
Yeah, it's
like you can't pull back on it.
Once you're in, you're in.
So you can't unredneck yourself.
You can't unredneck yourself. And she is super proud of her. She is like a Bud Light guzzling, fucking making friends with raccoons, having bonfires.
That's another thing I've learned about since I'm now a farmer. Like that's everybody's like, so when's the bonfire? I'm like, what do you? I'm not. I have a fireplace. What is this? What is this bonfire that you speak of? And apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's just you make a fire and you drink
in the middle of your yard.
Yeah, that's it.
Burn that grass up.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
No, that's it. It's just a bigger fire.
Bigger fire
than the fire pit that you would go. Your solo stove or.
So it's not a campfire.
No, it's not a campfire. It is an unregulated.
Like, is it dangerous?
No, not unless you fall in it.
So, but it's not quite like a conflagration or like a runaway firestorm or anything.
No.
It's just a large.
It's just a large diameter, like usually 6-foot diameter circle, full of stacked. You just stack pallets up
that you took from Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, as one does.
Okay.
You stack up wood, you stack up pallets, you build.
Does it count if you burn your own wood?
You can.
So it doesn't take away from the, I guess the je ne sais quoi of said
fire. No.
Fire. Okay.
No. It's just bonfires are typically big, like big in diameter and usually big in height. I mean,
so we're talking girth and width.
Yeah,
here.
we're talking. So like a buddy of mine, the last bonfire I went to at his house.
Oh, so they're scheduled. They don't have to be. Are they spontaneous?
They can be spontaneous.
Okay.
But he was having a party and he's like, well, fucking, we're having a bonfire, and he has pallets. Like he has the company that his parents own. They get a lot.
He has means of acquiring pallets.
They get pallets. They get a lot of fucking pallets. If I need a pallet, I go over to see Justin and I get a pallet. So he brought home. I mean, he stacked pallets 10 foot high.
I'm sorry, he stacked what?
Pallets 10 foot high.
It's pretty high.
10 foot diameter ring.
Wow.
Like.
So
big ass.
Like 100 square foot of bonfire.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, it was 10
from a volumetric standpoint.
Yeah, 10 foot diameter ring, stacked pallets, 10 foot high. Not like just stacked pallets.
Oh no, that would be more than 100 square feet because now we're talking depth.
Yeah, stacked like it was like 2 pallets together and stacked that shit 10 foot high and then doused that in diesel fuel.
Oh Jesus! So you're using accelerants on top of this?
Well, yeah, you got to get the fire going.
Well, I mean, like just fire, like some kindling? It has to be an accelerant.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's easier.
But if I want to do this the right way and maintain the spirit,
if you want to do it the right way and maintain the spirit, you get a styrofoam cup and you put gasoline in the styrofoam cup, and you just throw the whole thing on there because the gasoline will eat through the styrofoam pretty quickly.
But I'm imagining there's some amount of fire already
potentially going.
Okay.
I mean, if you can start with kindling, you can.
So this styrofoam Molotov cocktail, is that like the kickoff of said bonfire? Like, are there rules?
No, there's no rules.
Okay.
No rules, just right. It's how a bonfire is however you want to do it. But usually a bonfire is big. That's the thing to keep in mind. If you just want to have a little fire pit, have a little fire pit.
But that's not a bonfire.
That's not a bond. That's just a fire.
Okay.
The bond part is French for big.
Très bien.
It's a bonfire.
So there's no, just for clarity, there's no rules or statutes or procedures, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Okay.
No.
So you don't have to call a bonfire to order, and then you throw the cup of styrofoam gasoline.
No, usually the bonfire started, and it's usually some asshole that grabs the styrofoam cup and puts gasoline in it, and then chucks it on there. But he usually gets a little too close.
Okay.
And because they're drunk. I mean, there's always that guy.
So,
I can be that guy for you if you want.
So do you drink at a bonfire, or do you get drunk at a bonfire?
That depends on who you are.
Okay.
You are neither white trash nor redneck, so you would probably drink at a bonfire.
Okay.
The others would get blackout drunk at a bonfire.
Speaking of White Castle, there's one right there.
Yeah, there you go.
So, do you host the bonfire to get drunk, or do you get drunk so that, or is the goal to, so you, in order to get drunk, you start a bonfire, like chicken or egg? Like
that's the other thing. Just like the chicken or egg, it can go both ways.
Okay.
So you can get drunk and then be like, I'm having a bonfire, and go out and stack wood.
That sounds a little dangerous, though, doing it that way.
Well, it's no different than drinking and shooting guns.
True.
I mean, you get hit by a car tomorrow, too. You just step out in the street and get run over. But it's so you can either get drunk to start the bonfire, or start the bonfire to get drunk.
Now,
or to start drinking.
I know I asked this earlier, but do you schedule the bonfire, or do you, or is it spontaneous?
I mean,
and then you call people, or
how do college parties start? They kind of just happen.
Okay.
So, like someone, I come over.
All my college is online, so I don't.
Oh, let's see. I didn't go to a party school because to fry a bunch of nerds. I'll come over, we'll get Jason to come in, and there's three of us just hanging out, and all of a sudden a bonfire happens. And then there's goats involved.
Just please don't set the goats on fire again. Okay, so
you can schedule a bonfire.
Well, okay, so
if you want to have a bonfire and you want to have people over, if you're just having like a party,
okay,
then you just say, hey, I'm having a party this day, we're gonna have a bonfire. We'll have some s'mores.
So then who comes to the bonfire?
Whoever you want.
Do you invite people, or do people just show up? Is it like a?
It can be both. You don't want strangers to show up.
Okay.
Because that's weird. Like, hey, we saw the fire. We thought we'd stop by. That doesn't happen very often anymore. But you invite your friends, your family, maybe a friend of me or two.
But what kind of friends are we talking here?
All your friends.
So
the bonfire is indiscriminate. It does not care about
so
race.
It could be acquaintance. I mean, do you invite like your close friends, or is it acquaintances, or do you make an event on Facebook that's open to everybody? Or
I don't know that I would open it to everybody.
Okay.
Because you invite who you want there and who you like.
So would you invite the barbecue list?
barbecue list.
Like when you have a barbecue, like is it that same group of people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that same people. It's the people you want to hang out with.
Okay.
You know, if there's...
So not necessarily the football game list.
No.
A little bigger than that.
A little bigger than the football game list.
Okay.
You know, people you want to hang out with, people that you can tolerate, because you only have to tolerate them in short bursts because you're outside.
Okay. Now going to the other side, is it like graduation party people?
No. Because, like, I went to graduation parties for people that I didn't even talk to.
Okay.
Like, I talk to them, 2-3 times a year type of thing.
So this would be, definitely sounds like barbecue.
Yeah, this is barbecue list. This is like the people that you're going to be outside, people you're going to want to talk to, but you don't want to talk to them a lot. So as the host of... where does the bonfire take place at a home, or do you go someplace to have the bonfire? Now they take place at home. Like, when I grew up,
there's been restrictions?
They happened in a field.
Okay.
Like, just some random farmer's field.
Oh, a poor farmer.
Like, we would have fucking bonfires. Like, there'd be couches out in the field. There'd be a bonfire going on. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's trucks are parked. Tailgate in, sitting on tailgates. The truck got burned, or the couch got burned at the end of the night. But yeah, it was, sometimes, not every time. That one couch lasted us a couple
fires. Couple bonfires.
Couple bonfires.
So like charcoal.
It just made it. Like, Moose would get Moose is the guy named Moose. I didn't know him, wasn't friends with him. But
everybody knew Moose.
But everybody knew Moose. But he didn't go to my school either. So all the people, like, I didn't date him.
Did he go to ITT?
No. He went to Edison High School.
Okay.
But I never dated anybody in my school. I always dated at different schools. And my one girlfriend, well, two of the girlfriends I dated in high school, both went to Edison. And Moose would show up in his truck. He drove like a 1972 Ford Ranger, which is, back then, was a full-size truck, not the mini truck we know it today. That was lifted. He brought a couch every fucking time.
Did anyone ever ask where these couches came from?
Oh, his dad gave it to him.
Okay. His dad just had a thing for couches?
It was in the garage.
Okay.
Going to fire, taking the couch.
So they take place at now. Now,
I had one in my house. Just a small bonfire. So
they're scalable.
They're scalable, yeah. You don't have to do a 10-foot ring that's 10 foot high.
But as long as it's bigger than a fire pit, then it qualifies?
Yeah. It just has to, like, a bonfire is just bigger. It's just a bigger fire than a campfire.
Okay.
Campfire would be, your fire ring or the thing you pick up.
A little bit more controlled and therefore safe.
Yeah.
So is like the sketch factor part of the allure of the bonfire?
No, I think it's just more primitive.
Okay.
Like,
that's fair.
Native American primitive, or
just lizard brain, limbic, primitive
dance,
fire.
People had big fires after a big hunt, and you just danced around the fire.
Okay. Prayed to the sun god.
Yeah.
Okay. For a good harvest.
Right.
Do you eat at the bonfire?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you prepare meals, or do you bring snacks?
Well, you can. That's the beauty of the bonfire, is you as the host,
as the purveyor of said bonfire,
can decide on how you want to handle that.
Okay.
You can make that a bring a side dish type of thing. You can make that as a bring a dish type of thing, not necessarily a side dish, but hey, if you're gonna bring something, like, here's a checklist of what people are bringing. Your ass is on the hook for 40 pounds of fucking brisket. Not you, somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think you can. But okay, do you cook it at the bonfire, or is it already?
It's usually pre-cooked. Unless you're gonna do like hot dogs.
Are those like hot dogs?
Yeah, they're exactly like hot dogs.
Okay, so
it's chicken lips and assholes. So you use.
So it's just whatever whoever's the host decides.
Yeah, decides on what they want.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do hot dogs. You can do s'mores. You can do like pies.
So is this your garden variety bonfire would kind of sounds like a picnic?
For the most part, yeah.
Slash barbecue, maybe?
Yeah, at night.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you wanted, like, and this is what I did a couple years ago, several years ago. I had told everybody just to bring a side dish. And
eat, not as in like a side chick.
Right.
Okay.
I also told them they had to bring their own plates.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that. But use paper plates, because fuck all that nonsense. But I did like hot dogs and hamburgers.
Okay.
And then somebody brought like a big thing of some shitty potato salad from Kroger.
What was the thing you, dickled eggs?
Dickled eggs.
Did anybody bring dickled eggs?
No one brought dickled eggs.
Okay.
No one even brought deviled eggs, and I was disappointed in that.
Okay.
Which Mel said she can't make deviled eggs, so the dickled eggs is probably off the list.
What time is this? Oh, wait, okay. Is the fire the only light source at the bonfire?
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah, usually. Unless you get, there's flashlights.
Okay.
Or as they call them in Europe, torches.
Torches, yes.
But yeah, you can use a flashlight, and most people, to just get around.
What time does the bonfire start?
About dusk.
Okay. And how long does it go?
Till it ends. I mean, it depends on who you are and the people that are there.
Okay.
So if it's more civilized, usually, it may, in being neighbor considerate, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Being neighbor inconsiderate and being a total backwoods redneck
An asshole?
asshole.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they could go till like 4 or 5 in the morning. People be passed out on your lawn, front and back.
Is there music?
There can be. The ones that I went to, there was like in high school there was music, and that was just because everybody tuned to the same radio station and turned their radios up in their trucks.
Okay.
The one I had did not have. We had music, but it was just a Bluetooth speaker that I left on the deck and didn't crank it up very loud because
just background music.
Just background music because I am not one to have loud music at a party, because if I can't carry on a conversation, I don't want to be at the party.
So the music is just the background noise.
For me, it is, yeah.
Okay. But for some, it's not.
For some people.
No, I mean, for some bonfires.
You don't have to have it, though.
Okay. Well, do people...
There's going to be a lot of conversation when people aren't really going to be listening to music.
But I'm saying, will someone... Because there's always someone that plays a guitar. Like, does that guy show up?
Yeah, somehow that guy magically appears.
Okay.
Occasionally you may get a banjo player, too. It could be the same guy. But yeah, there's usually someone who'll break out a guitar, which I always found strange that...
Someone just has a guitar.
Someone's like, oh, I got a guitar in my car. Let me go get it. And you're like, what the fuck?
They've been waiting.
Yeah,
for the bonfire.
Well, speaking of that, like, same thing but different. One of the girls at our gym, high school girl, well, she just graduated.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she's a fine, upstanding young athlete that's going to college she's got a full ride athletic scholarship. I just can't remember where or for what sport. But she yells out the other day in the gym. She goes, "Hey Jimmy, you guys got a trap bar?" And Jimmy, being the owner of the gym, goes, no.
We don't do that here.
And I just looked at him. I'm like, you had to think about that? And he goes, yeah. She goes,
I mean, it's a yes or no, like.
Right. She goes, don't worry about it. I got one in my car. She literally walked out to her car and came back in with a fucking trap bar. She drives around with a trap bar in the back of her car.
Just waiting.
For
the opportunity.
The opportunity to use a trap bar. It's like the guy with the guitar.
Okay.
Just drives around. It's in the trunk. No one knows it's there.
Watch out.
But when they need it, they got
just
it.
Waiting, yes.
They're just waiting for it.
Waiting for it to happen.
Other things that happen at there are other things that can happen at a bonfire is someone it could be anybody, you never know who it's going to be, could try jumping through the fire. Okay, so there's some risk and liability. There could be makeout sessions by the fire.
Okay, do I need to have people? Is this like? Do I need to call my insurance agent before I have a bonfire? I guess
the insurance agent's going to tell you not to do it.
Not to do the bonfire?
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, don't do it.
Okay.
We can't cover that if someone gets hurt. And I'm like, well...
So some shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
Just overall shenanigans?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it's that's what it's evolved to. There could be making out by the bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
There could be, I mean...
What? People will jump through the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody gets a little, liquid courage in them.
Uh-huh.
They get dared to,
like hot, like the 10-foot.
No.
Fire.
After it's burned down. So.
Okay. Oh, so this isn't like a sustained 10-foot high.
No, you
flame.
Can't sustain that. That's,
okay, so the initial at the beginning of. Okay, well then rolling it back again. When this part happens, the 10 by 10, is that like at kickoff time, or do you wait till you reach critical mass and then you go for that big 10 by 10 flame?
No. You that's essentially the opening of the bonfire.
Okay.
Like
opening the kickoff.
Yeah, because it'll burn down and it'll get to the point where it's probably. Once you've got a pile that's maybe 2 foot high of just coals and embers and things that are just kind of going, and there's flames licking off of that. So every time you throw, more wood on, it sustains that, around 2 foot height, but then the flames are like another, 2 to 3 foot off of that.
Okay.
So
sorry, rolling back again.
No.
So how do you prep the area where the bonfire will take place?
You don't have to.
You just throw a pallet down, just like...
I mean, it's going to burn right through the grass.
But I'm saying, like, do you, like, maybe dig out someplace and put some rocks there or something?
You can. You want to be careful doing rocks, though. Like, so I did river rock, and if river rock gets hot enough, it explodes.
Yeah.
Because it's got water in it.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with the river rock. I've seen people just do nothing, like basically cut out, not dig a hole, but just basically create a circle and kill the grass in that circle and remove the grass. I've seen people do. I did nothing. I just
threw a pallet on the grass.
Just threw it, threw the wood down and just let it burn out the grass. You do need to be careful though, because
do I need to call 811 first?
Nah.
Okay.
Because anything that's buried below that's going to be far enough down.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, because like if it's dry, then
if it's dry, you could catch your yard on fire. I've done that too. Not through the bonfire. I was just burning. Like we had a lot of like boxes, and I had tree trimmings and shit like that. So I just piled all that stuff up in the yard, just lit it on fire, and went about my business doing stuff around the house.
And then
it was a little windy day, and the next thing I knew,
your yard was on fire.
Yeah, it burned about 50 foot of yard.
Okay, so knowing that, are there certain safety precautions you should take ahead of time?
Well, you should always have,
fire
hose.
Okay, a hose, not a fire extinguisher, a hose.
I would say a hose. I mean, you're not going to get much done with a fire extinguisher.
Okay.
With a bonfire, I would have a hose and just have it nearby and turned on and ready just in case something happens.
Okay, so the safety aspect will dictate where on your property that this fire will be started.
That depends on how much hose you have.
Okay.
Like I've got 800 foot of hose.
Oh, maybe cumulatively I probably have 800 feet.
Yeah, you just daisy chain them things together.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you had
an 800 foot hose.
800 foot hose. You're very impressive.
Daisy chain those things together and get yourself, as far as you can get them out there. For wherever you want to have your bonfire.
Okay.
So don't let the hose dictate where the fire is going to be. Let the fire dictate how much hose you need.
Okay. Sorry. Now going back, I think we were talking about the guitar guy.
So the guitar guy, it was about the tomfoolery and shenanigans.
Oh, yes.
So you could have someone, that just jump through the fire on a dare. Then you may need the hose because they may fall in and they
catch on fire,
and you want to put them out.
Does the bonfire stop?
No, bonfire never stops. Bonfire sleeps for no man.
So, if individual X that decides to jump through the fire, if he falls in, who's responsible for taking him? Or who's responsible? First, as I would say, whose man's is this? Yeah. And therefore, who takes responsibility for that individual?
It takes a village. So it's really, it's really who's ever closest to dipshit that jumped through the fire and got his toe caught on a piece of wood and fell down. Usually you don't fall in the fire unless they trip before they jump.
Okay.
It's usually they trip on their way through it, or they're wearing like rayon and polyester that catches pretty quickly.
Okay.
But in most cases, if they jump through the fire and they catch their toe on a piece of wood and then kind of fall, the trajectory kind of carries them through it for the most part. But there's the chance that their shoe could,
So is this another reason why you don't want to invite strangers in case one of these strangers decides to jump in the fire and he doesn't have a wingman?
Or basically, in Russia, people they have dash cams because people will step out in cars to get hit and try to claim insurance.
Okay.
Same thing.
They have you don't want bonfire cams.
Well, you don't want strangers showing up trying to jump out into your fire and then claim insurance on it. So you just don't invite them.
Okay. Should you try and stop people from jumping across the fire?
I'm all for
natural
selection and weeding out the herd. So
just kind of let it happen.
If they're lingering on the side of acquaintance and they're on the downside of that acquaintance, they may just let it happen. See where this goes.
So holistically, like let's say I host a bonfire and someone tries to jump and falls in, should I feel bad about that?
Depends on how much you like them, but they are human, so you probably should.
But I'm saying, regardless of who it is, so, a guest at the bonfire falls in. Should I feel any guilt or sense of responsibility? Because it is my fire. It is my property.
I would say you need to get your phone out and record it. And make sure you get it on tape saying,
"Don't do this.
You shouldn't be doing this."
Okay.
No, don't stop.
Okay. So there has to be some amount of you did your due diligence.
You did your You took care of things on your end, but you still record it happening.
Okay, so.
But you need evidence. That's why.
Okay, so then rolling back again.
Yeah.
Should you not provide alcohol as the host of the event?
I would BYOB that.
Okay.
Because not everybody's going to like the same thing.
Okay.
So I would BYOB that. But I wouldn't limit it to how much someone can bring. I'd let them go ahead and bring those 4 30 packs of Miller
30
Lite.
racks of Natty Light?
Natty or Miller Lite or, whatever,
The Boosh Latte?
Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney's cans
what
of Bud
the hell
Light.
is that?
Oh, Dylan Mulvaney?
Yeah.
The trans person that's kicked
Oh,
off the
I thought
whole-
that was a beer.
No,
I was like, what?
it does
What
sound
the
like a
fuck?
beer.
I was like, what the fuck is a Dylan Mulvaney?
The Dylan Mulvaney can.
Shows you how much I pay attention to things.
But yeah, no, I would BYOD that. Bring your own drink.
Okay.
That way, if someone wants to, maybe someone just wants a really nice glass of wine while they're sitting by the fire, a nice spicy red, they can do that.
Okay. So, dipshit tries to jump over the fire, does not succeed.
Yeah.
Do we, like you said, as the village, try and help that person? I guess if he says a village, we try and help. We don't just let them suffer. Okay, so then, do we expect our friends with medical experience to tend to this, or does their respective party have to manage this?
So in the position,
or do I have to provide Band-Aids or whatever they need?
No, fuck that. That's their fault.
That's on them.
That's like we only provide Band-Aids for kids.
Okay.
So in your former profession, you would have more medical friends.
Okay.
That may be able to handle the situation. Whereas,
but knowing my friends, the most qualified person to handle that situation was probably the one that jumped through the fire.
Well, and I'll get to that in a minute, because self-care is something that everybody should practice.
It's a thing.
So, I would say, with your background, you're going to have nurses or
Mel's a nurse.
Specialists that could probably manage that before you really have to, dial 911.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, know a lot of. Somehow I know just a lot of like emergency room nurses.
Okay.
Or pregnancy nurses. I can't think of the
obstetrics.
Yes. So, but the emergency room nurses aren't really equipped to deal with burns.
No, burns is its own thing.
It's its own thing. So they you get a bad burn, like a bad burn, not like I touched the pan and my finger's swelling up. But you get a bad burn, you bypass the ER pretty quick and go to trauma.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So don't call an ambulance.
Well, it depends. That's another thing. It's like, how fast is your car? And are you going to get pulled over?
Or how close is the nearest care facility?
Yeah. Because you're probably going to want to go to the hospital, depending on, if their leg was laying in the fire and it was starting to look like roast beef.
Or beef jerky.
I mean, the skin's going to peel away. It's going to be pretty fucking gross. You probably want to go straight to the, ER to get them into, so they can start getting second skin put on.
Okay.
But...
So now the situation's been dealt with. Either they just tripped, they burned a shoelace, they're good, or they're at the burn unit at Shriners.
Yeah.
Does the party go on?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, the bonfire waits for no man. It doesn't. I mean, you have the option to stop it.
Okay.
And you can't go, fucking ridiculous Dickie, he jumped through the fucking fire again.
Oh, so this guy, he's a habitual line stepper, this guy.
Yeah, it's usually
this isn't his first time.
No, and it's not the first time he's fallen into a fire either.
Okay, so then knowing that, do you not invite this guy?
I don't know, is he the life of the party? That's the thing,
Okay, but does he always jump in the fire?
No.
Okay, so that's part of the problem then.
Yeah, you never know when he's going to do it. You never know when he's going to get triple dog dared.
Okay.
And,
But this behavior is reactive?
It's more reactive.
So he has to be instigated. This isn't something he just oh man, I'm going to have a couple of these bush lights and I'm going to jump through that there fire.
Yeah, he's not a firewalker. He's not like in a Hawaiian luau.
Okay.
Walking the hot coals.
He's up for a challenge?
No, it's not even that he's up for a challenge. It's more that it's all relative to the amount that he drinks. If he had 2 beers and someone's like, "Oh, I dare you to jump through the fire," he'd be like, "Fuck off! I ain't doing that shit."
Now, does
But
this?
then if he has 12 beers, he might be like, I can't do that. I can barely fucking walk. So there's like, it's relative to how, like, there's
a sweet spot.
But it's different for everybody.
Okay. Now, does this guy drink beer or liquor?
Oh, it could be both. I was just using beer as a...
Or maybe even wine.
Maybe even wine. I mean, it could be anything, really. I mean,
Okay.
it's all... I guess it's more relative to their blood alcohol level. But then, because that doesn't even matter, because I can have a super high blood alcohol level.
Yeah, you could be, like, legally dead and still be functioning.
I could be pickled and just, hey, what's going on? But I still wouldn't jump through fire. I'm not the Firewalker. Freddy Firewalker.
Okay, so then...
So
I feel like the fire jumper dude, like, that's just gonna happen. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. The bonfire gods, like, dictate.
Yeah, it's like they need a sacrifice for someone's feet.
Okay.
I mean, that's why luau's have the people that walk on hot coals.
Yeah.
They're just...
So this is
it's the fire gods.
Oh, and then when I did learn about rednecks, I was taught a more politically correct term to refer to that group of people as Appalachian Americans.
Did the dude tell you that shit? Because that sounds like something he would say.
No, this is an airman that worked for me.
I don't know about that, because, I mean, dude grew up in the Appalachia area. I mean,
I thought he grew up in Columbus.
No, he's from down towards Marietta, down southeastern Ohio. I grew up in eastern Ohio, which is like Appalachia, it's like Pittsburgh area. Randy thinks he's Appalachian, but he's really just fat. So it's...
Well, I mean, Circleville could be the description of the family tree. So, okay, that's always something I've heard, like those redneck jokes, like being related to your wife.
Yeah. Yeah, like your wife is your
own first cousin.
Your own first cousin,
yeah,
or something. I mean, that happens. It definitely happens.
But do they are they getting a bad rap, or?
I don't know. I mean,
or are they not helping themselves?
They're not helping themselves.
Okay.
That is part of it. I mean, but your first cousin could be fucking hot, like smoking ass hot, and maybe she's into like bigger guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. Like, really, once it's your third cousin, you're safe. So you don't have to worry about, it's far removed enough.
Okay.
That they're fine, but
okay. Back to the fire. So just you have to accept the fact that it may happen.
You have to accept the fact
this is the part of the liability with the universe that you're accepting when you say, "Hey, I'm going to have a bonfire."
Yeah,
you're taking that risk.
It's an unwritten contract that your ass is signing.
Okay. Kind of like drinking liquid death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're signing this contract whether you want to or not the minute you spark up that lighter.
So is it like when you go to Vegas and you put your money on the table, like you might lose it? Or is it more like the first time you try crack?
Ooh. I've done both.
Kind of hard to...
It's kind of hard to figure out. Oh,
okay.
Shit. I mean, I did... First time I did crack, and I put money on the table in Vegas.
First time you did crack was in Las Vegas.
Was in Vegas while I was...
At the blackjack table.
Putting money on the table. No, it's really neither. You're not going to lose it. A good time will be had by all.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Like, everybody's going to have a good time. Even Freddy Firewalker is going to have a good time.
Nine-toe Freddy?
Yeah, it's kind of, I wanted to say it was kind of like a Ouija board, but it's not. You just have no control over it.
Okay.
The only control you have is sending everybody home. The fire may still continue to burn, even after you send everybody.
But I feel like even if you try to tell everybody, like, hey, I got a thing in the morning. Okay, let's wrap it up, guys. I feel like it's, what do you call it, the Midwest goodbye, where it takes an hour?
Irish exit.
No, the Midwest goodbye, yeah. But the opposite of the Irish exit.
Yeah, the Midwest goodbye. It takes you 3 hours to leave a fucking party.
So, if you're ready to shut it down, you have to, like, Is it like when the plane's landing? Okay, prepare the cabin for landing. So do you gotta like prepare everybody? Like, okay, guys, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
knowing full well that it's gonna take 2 hours.
Well, you can time frame it. You can time box the event.
You can. Oh, from this time to this time.
Yes.
Okay.
You can time box it. You can say, okay, it's going to be, we're gonna kick everything off around 8 o'clock, and we're gonna wrap things up,
But what kind of when you
Between
when
10
you
and
do
11.
that though, like what kind of buffer do you need to include? Like your normal 20%, like you would on anything else?
Well, you say between 10:30 and 11 to give that like 30. It's a 30-minute
Watch out.
deal
Crash reported
there,
ahead.
so that people can, they'll understand.
But then if you say
there is a crash, holy shit.
yeah. But if you say 10:30 to 11, are you really hoping to get out of there by 1?
No, you're hoping to get out of there like 10 after
Okay.
11.
Okay. Will
Like,
you?
It's very much a I got shit to do tomorrow because I'm a fucking adult. So like anything else, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Do you do this during the week?
No, but I mean, there's been some that have been done like on a Sunday, like a Sunday
Watch out.
evening.
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
So do you do it on a Sunday, trying to prevent a 3 a.m.?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that because other people have to go to work too, except for
Yeah.
Freddy Firewalker. He doesn't work.
Yeah.
Apparently, he just keeps a guitar in his trunk of his car and he jumps over fires.
It jumps over fires.
While playing the guitar.
Okay.
And if you really want to send the message, that's where the hose comes in.
Oh. So it's like turning the lights on at the club.
Yeah, you just spray that. You just hose there. You start with the fire, and then people are like, oh, and you just accidentally like turn, and you're like, oh, whoops, I sprayed you too, and then you just start hosing people down.
Okay, so the hose, that's the official.
It can be the official end to,
Or
it can ruin a good time, per se. Like you want the good time to stop.
Well, but that's why you put the brackets on it.
Right.
But
And most everybody will follow.
okay, so
the time
people,
box.
so most people will abide by
Yeah.
the bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody's
So it's that same person.
they're an adult and they're
The line stepper is the one that's going to want to keep going till the dawn.
usually, yes.
Okay.
Or it's like it's your kids and
Oh.
their friends.
Okay.
Like they want to keep it going. They're like,
Well-
no, we're just gonna stay out here. And you can either go, yeah, that's fine. Don't keep me up. Because
Yeah.
if I have to come out here,
I'm cracking skulls.
cracking skulls. When in reality, when you go out there, you just grab the hose and fucking turn it on.
Okay, and spray the kids, not the fire.
Yeah, let the fire keep going. Ruin their time.
Do people like? Is this intended to be like an overnight thing, or just like till the time cap?
Well, it can be. You can set it up so if someone wants to, bring a tent,
Okay.
they can set a tent up. You'd want to do that like on a Saturday or a Friday night thing.
So, is it like subjective whether or not you let people stay over?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Tell them to get the fuck out. I mean, unless they're paying for a good time. then-
But obviously, if someone just hammered, I mean, you probably want to offer them the couch.
Again, depends on who it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like-
that's fair.
On the downward side of a acquaintance, a frenemy,
You make them risk it for the biscuit.
you can
Like, nah,
send
man,
them-
you're not welcome here.
You can send them out on their own, and then when they leave and they do get in an accident, they're like, "Well, I was over at Mo's house." And
Or do you call the
that's where I
cops as soon as they pull out of the driveway?
Yeah, you either call the cops like, "Hey, some asshole."
I told Jimmy not to leave.
and he fucking fought like, and but at that point, you may have to have someone like punch you in the face to make it believable, because
Okay.
he's blackout drunk. He doesn't know. He
Oh.
don't remember that shit.
Okay.
So you just you gotta take one for the team and get clocked,
Mm-hmm.
or
But now you can't.
Or-
you can't
or-
set up this whole thing as a ruse to just get this guy put in jail.
well, no,
And-
because what'll happen is because they were at your house, you could be held accountable.
Oh no,
for the
I
fact
understand
they
that, but
left.
I'm saying, but you don't put like there's some dickhead at work that you want to see.
Oh no, you don't want to do that because
Okay.
that's malicious.
Okay, that's calculated.
Yeah, that's malicious. You don't want to do that. But if Tommy Two Tones decides that he's going to take the keys and run off, well, you might as well, you can either have Mel or somebody punch you in the face, like just on the side.
Yeah.
Like just, cause a little bit of bruising. And be like, hey, he fucking punched me and took the keys and ran off. Or you can just be like, didn't even know he left.
Mm-hmm.
And try to play that angle, but I don't know how that angle is going to work.
Well, I mean, it happens.
It does happen. I mean, he did the Irish exit.
Yeah.
He didn't say shit. We just turned around
And he was gone.
He was gone, and we always saw his taillights, and we tried to stop him, but so then we called the cops. So
Because we're worried about his safety.
Yeah, he preemptively called the cops on him. Like, don't press charge. Just bring him back,
Yeah.
or take him to jail.
Either or.
Either one's fine. I mean, whatever's going to be safest for him and you, as long as he's not here.
With what sort of frequency should you subject yourself to hosting a bonfire?
It depends on how much you actually like people.
Is this something that, like, as your girls get older, like, are you going to come home one Friday night and there's going to be a fire in your backyard?
No.
And all your kids?
No, because Lexi doesn't like to have friends over.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
that won't be a problem. Harley may be a different story, but by that time, we should be living someplace else that won't be so conducive to a bonfire.
Okay, so there's kind of,
Well, I mean,
you can't do this in an apartment.
no, you definitely can't do this in an apartment. Well, you could, but you might as well just catch
Safely.
the apartment on fire. Really have a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
It's called arson. But,
Some people call that arson.
I mean, it'll be fine. You just come running out too with everybody else.
Okay, along with all of your belongings.
Yeah,
Okay.
that were pre-packed.
Yeah.
Before you drop the match on the carpet. The location matters somewhat. I mean, you have acreage now.
Yeah.
I have acreage, so it's conducive to a bonfire. But you wouldn't want to do it living in a neighborhood on a postage stamp piece of land.
Yeah.
Because that's just going to, one, the cops are going to show up for that one because, Karen next door didn't get invited. And she's more concerned about what everybody else is doing in the neighborhood as opposed to minding her own goddamn business. So she's going to call the cops.
Okay.
Because, there's 8-foot flames above your privacy fence. And she's super concerned about her wiener dogs. Or her Yorkies.
Some sort of little
Just a little yippy dog. So super concerned, she's going to be super, super concerned there. And then there's a chance that because the houses are so close, you could catch your neighbor's house on fire.
Or at least the roof.
Or the roof, because there's going to be ashes and things like that are going to be floating down. So, I mean, ideally, you want to be right in the middle of a 50-acre lot.
Okay.
Where there's
way out there. Well, but then how do you get a hose out there?
Well, at that point, you don't. That's how the Canadian wildfires started.
It was a bonfire.
It was a bonfire.
So you could have just said this from the beginning, because I don't want to start, an Ohio wildfire.
I mean, I think we're due. Maybe if we get big enough fans, we can push all the smoke and shit to Canada.
Towards Canada?
Yeah.
Give them a taste of their old medicine, eh?
Eat this.
Eat this.
That's what this is about. Yeah, I say we. I mean, if you're gonna do it, we'll just do it. But it could also start World War III.
What time of year?
Oh, year round.
Oh, so it's not.
I mean, it's going to be cold in the wintertime, but you'll have a fire to keep you warm.
But this isn't like a fall thing.
No, usually they're summer, fall things. typically, because that's when people like, oh, it's nice and warm out, we're going to have a bonfire. No one really likes to have a bonfire in the snow, but people do it.
For the hardcore.
Yeah, they make snowmen and they put them around the fire and then watch them melt. That's murder.
It's kind of, it's kind of cool. A little sadistic.
Throw snow into the fire. But you don't have to worry about, if you got snow, you don't have to worry about having a hose around.
Or the rest of your yard catching on fire.
Yeah, because you can just shovel snow into the fire if needed.
Unless you got some of that fracking snow that was going around that was catching on fire.
Oh, I didn't know about that, but that would even be even better. Like if it started snowing with fracking snow, while the bonfire was going, you see like flames take off up into the air, and like they catch other flames on fire, and then all of a sudden the entire sky is on fire because
that would be
fracking.
Yeah.
That'd be
scary as shit.
Yeah. Like, what did you do?
I did this.
I killed everybody on the planet. At least where it's snowing at.
So, what are some things that... Okay, so do you just say I'm having a bonfire and that's it? And maybe put the brackets? Does everybody know what a like, obviously I didn't. But does everyone understand bonfire etiquette?
No. Because, like I said, Freddy Firewalker and Tommy Two Tones.
Well, but that guy's been to a couple, so he knows.
But they still don't understand the etiquette.
Well, he wouldn't understand the etiquette anyway, because that's why he's got 9 toes.
But at this point, I mean, you can put party in parentheses, get together.
Okay.
To kind of tame it down just a little bit. Put a little description in there if you're going to do it on like the Facebooks.
But it sounds like a very unique kind of gathering.
Slightly, yeah. It's. I mean, most parties that I go to aren't really at night.
Yeah.
They're like, evening parties or, during the day, someone's having a party for this, that, or the other. Like a bonfire is a night party. So it is unique in that aspect. And there is, the world's oldest weapon is there, fire. Mm-hmm. So, given to us by the gods.
Do fights break out?
They can.
Okay.
I mean,
again, this is, speaking broadly with a very wide brush, but like, for our age, like the fights per capita, I would assume be lower versus like a bunch of high school kids taking over some farmer's property, setting it on fire.
The fight should be lower. There'll be arguments for sure, though.
But which would probably result in someone just leaving.
No, they'd probably result in someone like a fuck you.
Okay.
But that also depends on what the argument is.
A real hard fuck you.
Yeah, one you can't come back from.
A non-retractable.
No, just like...
Kind of like those coupling fuck yous.
Yeah, like stupid arguments like the Bengals versus the Browns.
They both suck.
Yeah, they're both fucking awful. And you can easily stop those arguments by just going that. Be like, well, they both suck.
Yeah. And neither can argue.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then they, argument over.
Okay.
So, dumb shit like Ford's better than Chevy. And you're just like, it's subjective.
Yeah.
They both suck. Buzz, buzz, buzz. But it's just like, they're stupid little arguments. But as far as people going fisticuffs,
rare.
The adults,
hopefully those people haven't been invited.
Yeah, actual adults.
Ooh, new boyfriend or girlfriends? Are they like of your friends? Okay. Can your friends bring guests?
Well, no.
Aside from their spouses.
No.
Okay. Because you don't know these people.
Because you don't know those people. You can't be like, well, unless someone's like, oh, well, my sister's in town.
Well, what if their sister is 9 toes?
Well, that's
because some people have. I've never met Sarah, but Sarah seems like she could be,
She can go either way.
Yeah, Sarah seems like she can go hard.
She can go. Yeah, she'll be civilized, or she can be a fucking Neanderthal. You vet that shit though.
Okay.
You're like, well, I don't know your sister. I think it'd be okay if she comes. Is she like
Ford or Chevy?
I mean, is she normal?
Yeah.
Like, she didn't do stupid shit.
But
does
I'm
she?
sure you have to kind of frame that based off the person who's asking.
Yeah. But also, the
Like if
person
Freddy Firewalker wants to invite his sister.
you're like, fuck no.
Well, she might be normal.
Well, so I guess that's the other part. So think of it this way. You know Freddy Firewalker. At some point, he's mentioned his sister.
Okay. This isn't like, oh, by the way, did I ever tell you I have a sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
We adopted her like 10 years ago, but I never mentioned her. No, Freddy Firewalker, they're going to mention the sibling, and you're going to hear stories.
So, and you may have even met this person.
Yeah.
Or at least you've heard quite a bit about this person.
Yeah, you
So it's like, isn't that your sister who was a mail order bride in Bahrain?
Yeah, like, how's she doing after the sex trafficking?
Yeah.
Like, she's stable now?
Yeah.
She still has Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh,
She off her meds?
She probably can't come then.
Yeah.
Because we don't need her getting,
Yeah.
we
don't need her getting triggered.
attached to just some rando from her side. But yeah, you've probably heard stories or something, or maybe even like briefly met a sibling.
Okay.
So, but if it's like, well, my girlfriend's in, like, if let's just say, whoever, well, my girlfriend's in, my sorority sister's in from school, and you're just like, okay, yeah, but you're 47, she's probably 46 to 48, sorority sister type of thing. Is she crazy? I would just flat out ask if she said her sorority sister's in.
Yeah.
My favorite is, well, my girlfriend's in town. Okay.
Crazy Tammy? The one you told me you call her Crazy Tammy?
Yeah, which girlfriend? Crazy Tammy. Oh, shit. Tammy. Crazy Tammy? That bitch crazy. No, she can't come.
You told me she's crazy.
You told me that she's fucking mentally unstable.
Oh, but she loves bonfires.
She lives for bonfires. Yeah, she's fucking Freddy Firewalker. She's Frederica Firewalker.
And then you start thinking, have I ever seen her with open-toed shoes?
I've ever seen her in an open flame. She'll drop a lighter. Yeah, so I think that's a play it by ear situation.
Okay.
Especially if if you know stories about like a sibling
some bad press.
Yeah, girlfriends. I think girlfriends or boyfriends are fine.
Okay.
Because that's like,
because hopefully they would have.
Well, they're going to be on their best behavior. In our age bracket, they should be on their best behavior.
Okay. But none of this. Hey, I just met this girl at a bar last night.
No, none of that bullshit. No.
Okay.
No, there's a stipulation on that's a Tinder hookup or a Grindr hookup. We're not doing any of that shit. Like we're talking like, official dating, boyfriend, girlfriend type deal. Been seeing each other regularly for like a month and a half.
So kind of like your normal marriage. I mean, you are indeed inviting people to your home. So
yes, so they need to be on their best behavior.
But also, I think from your side of the equation, have those same kind of guardrails up in relationship to like who you're willing to invite into your home.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's the new
So, are there any like just universal don'ts?
Well, like Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
So I think that's
so have a plan.
Yeah, that's you got a hose. It's got multiple uses.
I mean, the hose is about the extent of what you need is for like a fire safety plan.
I think so. I mean, there's not much else you can do. Like a bucket of water, you can bucket brigade the shit, and then everybody gets involved.
Again, rolling back, where does this dickhead get the styrofoam cup full of gas? Where does he get the gasoline from to put in his cup?
That just shows up. Probably because he's got a gas can in the back of his car or back of his truck or whatever.
With the guitar and the and the trap bar.
Yeah, and then usually, I mean, for whatever reason, when you're driving down the road in the truck, the styrofoam cup never actually leaves the bed, even though it's been thrown in there. It just kind of dances around.
Just defies the laws of aerodynamics.
It gets stuck. Well, there's
in a
vacuum.
vortex.
It gets stuck into this vacuum or vortex right behind the rear window on a truck.
Okay.
So it just kind of, like, you see it like
hovers,
jump out and just kind of, but it always gets sucked right back down in.
Okay.
So that's usually where the styrofoam cup comes from. I don't even know if they make styrofoam cups anymore, but they still show up.
There's some like roadside liquor store on a highway, not an interstate, that still sells styrofoam cups and candy cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like the illegals in California that sell flowers across the street from one of the cemeteries. It's the same thing. It's like some random guy who's on the side of the road and he's like, you need some styrofoam cups?
With gasoline in them?
You can put gasoline in these. Or it's it's similar to the Indian with the tear running down his face because of all the
litter.
The litter. He's the one actually selling the styrofoam cups because he's just picking them up and he's like, well, I'm here, I might as well.
Yeah.
And this guy's stopping.
If I'm not producing more waste.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll throw this one into a fire.
I'll get rid of these. Like, I'll stack them up high and see how many we can burn through. He's like, instead of polluting the ground, we're just going to pollute the air with styrofoam. Because styrofoam's not good for a fire. You don't really want to burn it, inhale it, ingest it in any way.
What other, like, universal don'ts?
I mean, really, that's it. Just don't catch shit on fire. Like, don't catch stuff on fire. Don't jump through the fire.
Okay. Oh, so you, as the host, probably shouldn't jump. If you're
Freddy Firewalker, then you got a whole other set of issues here. Because I'd be more concerned.
If you're him, well, I almost feel like Freddy Firewalker doesn't have the ability to host a bonfire.
Well, no, because Freddy Firewalker...
He probably lives in an apartment or a duplex.
Not always. Freddy Firewalker can be one of those rednecks that has land. I mean, there's a trailer
but doesn't want to burn his own land?
No. He'll host his own bonfire, because he's always having bonfires.
Okay.
I mean, some nights he's cooking over the bonfire. Like, he's got a...
Like a whole side of beef?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, he's got, like, this swing arm, system that he can, like, build a smaller fire, and he can just swing out, this grate that hangs from a chain.
Yeah.
And, like, cook over, like almost like a cowboy kitchen.
Okay.
So, yeah, Freddy, but he could be the same guy that's like, woohoo! And he just, next thing you know, he's fucking Lucky Charming it through that goddamn fire. He's just doing the leprechaun leap.
Well, okay, so just like you said, college parties just sort of start.
Yeah.
Well, will inevitably someone just show up that wasn't invited?
It could happen, but that could happen at any party because they think they should have been invited.
And it was an accident?
And you accidentally forgot to invite them, and you accidentally left them off the list, and they found out about it.
Okay.
And they're like, well, shit, I should have been there. Mo just forgot to put me, let me know. But what happens is when they get there, they're like, why didn't you forgot to tell me?
Like, no, I didn't.
Be like, well, I wouldn't say I forgot.
So if someone shows up that wasn't invited, how do you manage that?
Well, it's a party.
So you kind of can't.
So you can either be like, you gots to go, or, you're here. Leave me the fuck alone. Go have fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your face again. But that's if you don't like them. If you do like them, you're like, you're right, I did forget. Sorry. It was really just for family, but come on over.
Okay.
And by family, that's just who you wanted to invite.
Yeah.
Because you may not be able to pick your family, but you can
pick your friends.
Pick your friends and your family. You can pick your family, kind of.
You can pick them off.
Yeah. You can pick their nose.
Yeah. What about some universal dues? So I guess
Universal dues.
Selective screening.
Selective screening, for sure.
Okay.
Like, make sure the people that are going to be there are the people you want there. S'mores.
So don't just be all willy-nilly.
Yeah, don't be like, I got 1,200 friends on Facebook. Send all.
Invite. Yeah.
Invite all.
Okay.
S'mores, for sure. With Reese cups. Don't give me none of that Hershey bar bullshit.
Reese cups.
You got to use Reese cups for your chocolate.
Really?
Oh, God, yes.
But there's peanut butter in that chocolate.
Damn right there is. A Reese cup s'more is life-changing.
I've not heard of that.
Oh, you need to do that shit.
I might be missing something.
You can just make that shit in the microwave.
Oh.
You can do microwaves in the s'more. You can do microwaves in the smoke. You can do s'mores in the smoker. So, Reese cup. Not that. I mean, you can have the Hershey bar there, but
like a full size Reese cup.
Yeah.
And you shove a toothpick in it, or not toothpick?
You just
skewer?
the marshmallow. You roast the marshmallow.
Okay.
You put the graham cracker. You got the Reese cup down. Put the marshmallow on top of that. Put another graham cracker on top of that. Pull that skewer out. You got yourself a s'more. Yeah, if you stick the skewer through the chocolate, it's just gonna melt right into the fire.
Yeah, I thought about that after I said it, but again, because I've never been, I may have been to a bonfire, but didn't realize it was a bonfire. But it was on a beach. Does that count?
That's a beach fire.
And we did steal the wood.
Yeah, that's more of like a beach fire.
And I think someone did throw some flammable material on the fire.
There you go. I mean, it can be.
This is also when I was in the military, so it could have been the wood was laden with some sort of petroleum product that made it explode.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But you can have mini bonfires, like smaller versions. They're still bigger than a campfire.
So that's the basic premise. It has to be bigger than. I guess I've never been camping either, like real camping, other than like work.
Well, I mean,
related to camping.
I'm saying campfire. I'm referring to either like, you went camping, you slept in a tent, and there's like this 3-foot diameter ring that's out there, that you just, it's not that big. You just throw some wood in there, and then, like, it has a like grate over it, and you can like cook some shit on it, which I wouldn't do because personally, that you don't know what someone could lay their dick on that grate.
But just you burn off the dick
fact
remnants.
knowing that could have happened
Psychologically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually that grate's also rusty as shit. So
a little tetanus never hurt anyone.
I mean, that's why I'm as healthy as an ox. I mean, I don't get sick. I eat shit off the floor. But it's, or when I say campfire, you can also use like the fire ring you got at the Tractor Supply or the Walmarts, or a solo stove.
So it can still be contained?
It's
not contained.
Like a campfire to me is contained. It's contained in a ring.
So a bonfire could be equidistant to a campfire ring, but if it doesn't have a barrier.
Right. So like a mini bonfire would be slightly larger than a campfire, like larger,
but not
than
contained.
But not contained with.
It's not restrained.
Right.
By walls.
Right. That's my definition of a mini bonfire. But some other do's. So you got the s'mores. You got to have the Reese cups though, like that. You can have the chocolate bars, but I mean, if you don't want me to Irish exit immediately. Wow.
Immediately.
That better be a Reese cup bear. Hot dogs are always, like, kids like cooking hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. Are kids invited? Or can people bring their kids?
They can. I mean...
Or should they bring their kids? Because it sounds like a lot of shenanigans.
Well, the shenanigans are just warnings. Like, that, it could or couldn't happen. That's the beauty and the downfall of the bonfire.
People that are bringing their children, they should be aware of what they could potentially be subjecting their children to.
Yeah, life. Yes.
Life experiences.
Yeah. Like core memories.
Or very or core memories.
Yeah.
The first time they saw someone fall on a fire.
Right. Core memory. I mean,
first time they saw a fist fight.
Yeah.
By two men without shirts on.
Yeah, that are
With mullets?
have Dunlap's disease. You know what that is? That's when your belly Dunlapped over your belt.
That's like Dickie Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you do? But, it's I think kids are fine because the kids like to sit by the fire and they're like, oh, fire, we get to make s'mores.
What if your kids don't want to go? Do you allow them not to go, or do they need to have these types of experiences?
If they're of age and they don't want to go, don't force them to go.
What do you mean, like, of age? Like 15,
16, 17,
okay.
they can stay at home by themselves.
Late teens.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, fine, don't come. Don't give a shit.
Okay.
They're not going to ruin my night because you're going to be a little asshole. But at the same time, get your ass out of the house. Like, you need to go. Let's go. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna sing campfire songs.
Do you sing campfire songs?
Fuck no.
Okay. But that you tell them that.
That depends. If the guy with the guitar breaks out his guitar and you start singing American Pie, then
is that just a standard?
I mean, it can happen.
Okay.
I mean, you may go American Pie and go do some
Good
Don
Morning
Henley.
America. Yeah.
I mean, you may do Folsom Prison by Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It just depends on the person with the guitar and
The
what they
acumen
play.
of said guitar aficionado.
I mean, someone's really good. You may be singing
Freebird.
Well, you can do Freebird if they can do some Skinner. But I mean, you may be doing Tootsie Roll by the '69 Boys. If they can play the strings and tap the guitar at the same time and do a little beatboxing, yeah, you may be doing the Tootsie Roll. So,
do you chairs or
bring your own chairs.
Okay, blankets.
Bring your own blankets.
Coolers, I guess.
Yeah, that's part of BYOD.
Okay.
Sometimes you can have like a log that people could sit on. Like if you have like a tree that you cut down, you can have like stumps that are upright stumps that people could sit on, or you can have like a log sitting just laying on if the log's big enough.
Okay.
I mean, it's makeshift bench type of thing.
How do you manage all the trash? Do you put a trash can out there? Or?
You put a trash can or two out there. Most of the time, the trash just gets thrown into the fire.
Oh.
So like paper plates, paper towel.
But no glass bottles.
No glass bottles. Some people do. You shouldn't. Some people throw their beer cans into them too. That shit should go to, if you recycle, put it in the recycling. Make a recycle bag. If you don't recycle, just throw the shit in the trash can and pack it up when you're done.
Okay, so everything's like people are gone. What's the best way to make sure that fire doesn't flame up again? Just aside from dousing it, I was
gonna say, you got that hose, but at some point that fire's gonna die down enough. Like there's just not gonna be enough energy for it to continue to burn and burn through everything.
Okay.
So it's gonna. I mean, you may come out in the morning. There'll still be some hot coals, which is nice if you want to do some breakfast.
Okay.
Everybody's gone. You can kind of stoke that thing a little bit. Maybe throw a little bit more wood on there, and you can do biscuits. And maybe some sausages, some bacon.
Police reported.
Make some eggs and just throw it directly into an iron skillet on top of the fire. Because you can just use those coals to cook directly on top of it, which is kind of nice. By the way, as we're driving, I noticed that every cop we've seen does not have their lights on at all.
Oh, really?
In Kentucky. Sneaky bastards.
Have not even noticed any.
Even the one, the cop had a guy pulled over.
Oh, his lights in the front were not on. I did.
His lights in the front were not, his headlights weren't on, his parking lights weren't on, nothing was on, just the blue flashers on the rear.
Huh.
Sneaky fuckers.
Oh, I was looking for lights. I didn't look for a silhouette of a vehicle.
Yeah.
A little silhouette of a vehicle.
That's a non-existent. What else?
Rain or shine?
Usually if it rains, you don't want to.
It's a little challenging.
Wet wood doesn't burn very well. But then if your yard is like super wet and like really moist, and you try to have a bonfire, it just turns into Woodstock '94.
Okay.
Like it's just a muddy mess.
Mush. Yeah.
It's gross, and then somehow fucking hippies show up. Drugs.
Dirty hippies?
Yeah. Like it doesn't work out
It's not a good time.
the way you want it to. What you got going on there? No. Okay. Yeah, it's a thing with the rain. You want to do it when it's. I mean, I wouldn't say rain or shine unless you're talking about moonshine. But then even then, you got to be careful with
Yeah,
people.
because that stuff will catch on fire.
Yeah, the people show up with moonshine. But like if the moon's out and it's shining, that's probably what you want to do. No rain.
Is this something that you schedule like around a holiday, or is this like?
Every day's a holiday if you try hard enough.
Oh, very true.
You just Google what today's holiday is, and
But like, do you have a 4th of July bonfire, or do you like kind of keep it separate from holidays because this should be a special day in of itself?
no, you can do it for like 4th of July and around holidays. That's what some people do. They'll have bonfires and get-togethers and parties, and then all of a sudden a bonfire starts and it's around a holiday. I mean, it's kind of fun when you have a bonfire and you throw like a packet of firecrackers into the bonfire. Because that scares the shit out of everyone. There's like snap, snap, bap, 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 bap. But you don't want to throw like
provided you live in a state where fireworks are legal.
Yes.
Yes.
In Ohio,
we would not condone anything. I mean,
I wouldn't condone it unless it's legal. And thankfully,
but it's funny.
In the state of Ohio,
they are legal now.
Fireworks are legal.
Okay, so is it like regular, like projectile fireworks, or just because before we didn't have anything, right?
No, I mean you can get away with like firecrackers and little bottle rockets, like that stuff didn't. But like the mortars, and the big shit, that's now legal. But it's only legal during Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day, really?
Yeah. Memorial Day weekend and 4th of July.
Your people really like explosives and shit.
Oh yeah, we love blowing shit up. That's fucking white people problems right there. Like we love. I mean, I carry a lighter on me, and I don't even smoke.
Yeah, you just like.
I just like to play with
the opportunity to make a fire.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm not Tommy Two Tones or Freddy
Nine Toes.
Yeah, or
Freddy Firejumper.
Freddy Firewalker. I can't. Like that's. I don't like I don't like pain that I haven't like done to myself, I guess. I mean, I get it. Like if I light the lighter and I stick my hand in there, I'm inducing pain myself. But
did someone come through and hit these fucking cones or something?
No, I think they moved them out because of the whatever work they're doing. Goofy asses. These fucking hicks in Kentucky. But like I like self-induced pain, like working out. Like that type of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be whipped. I don't want to pay to be.
Unless you're in Thailand.
I don't want to pay someone to be whipped either. You know, unless I go to Singapore and spit on the street.
Yeah.
Then I get caned.
Caned, yeah.
Get like 3 lashings. That doesn't sound like fun either.
Yeah, if you pass out, they wake you up.
Yeah, fuck all that.
And give you and put the wood to you.
Nope. Just kill me.
Yeah.
Just fucking kill me. I mean, other than that, you should be all set to have a bonfire. I mean, you've got all the stipulations. You know who to invite.
Oh. Do you always have the bonfire in the same physical location on your property? Like, is this is this an area now designated your bonfire?
Yeah,
pit?
yeah, and you can make it a nicer bonfire pit too. I mean, you can make it a pit if you wanted to. Like you could dig.
Well,
it
I mean,
out.
not necessarily pit. I mean, that's a bad
No,
word,
no,
but
that's-
like
it's-
this is my bonfire area
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you can. You want to do that because if you move it around, then you're gonna have these big dead spots everywhere.
Yeah.
In your property, it's gonna look like UFOs landed and you missed it. Scorched earth.
Yes.
But yeah, you'd have it in the same spot. I mean, some people get fancy with theirs. Like I said, you can.
But that sounds like it defeats the purpose. I feel like the bonfire is like an organic event that takes place, you know, under somewhat makeshift, borderline, you know, primitive resources.
But even in like the primitive days, in the way before times, they had. I mean, they had it.
2019.
Yeah, 2017. In the way before times.
Okay.
They had designated spots in villages for where they would have their bonfires before they prayed to the environmental gods.
Yeah.
So they always had that same place. I mean, but like their bonfires, they had like spit set up so they could hang people from them, you know, and basically just fucking roast them, you know. Put them on just like turn it. They'd have somebody sitting there and turning it while the guy screams.
That sounds really not cool.
No, that's what they do on that Indonesian island where people aren't allowed to visit. They cook them. But no, it's like you can make your bonfire area nice and like make it this is designated.
But I feel like just from the discussions, like you don't want it to be too nice. It's just like it's where you do your bonfires.
Well, keep in mind though, us of our age,
yeah,
we're not like
we're
crazy.
not teenagers anymore.
Yeah, so you can have like the bonfire pit could be the actual place where the fire could be 4 foot in diameter.
Yeah,
and then you could do like another 2 foot outside of that of just like pebble stones, like pebble gravel, pea gravel, and have like a nice little, it's outside the area. Like it's basically like for kids, don't get this close.
Oh.
Stay this far back.
That sounds too safe. Like just from this whole discussion, I have this more primitive.
Well, you want it to be safe, but the more primitive shit is it's Freddy. It's Freddy who's causing the issues. Everybody wants to have a nice, fun, safe time, and it's not. I mean, you're just making it look nice.
Okay.
But the bonfire can still be spontaneous.
But still not making it safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because you put in a 2 foot ring of pea gravel doesn't mean that someone isn't gonna do something stupid.
Okay.
I mean, that's
fair.
I mean, walls don't stop people. Pea gravel ain't gonna stop nobody. So you just,
Yes.
it's just there. It's a decoration. People are like, oh, it's really nice. You're like, yeah, you like that? It's pretty decorative.
Yeah.
I took a stake, I put it in the center, I drew a circle.
That's some decorative gravel.
Yeah, put some pea gravel in there. Everything burns over there, and then also it doesn't spread to your yard because the pea gravel kind of stops that.
Okay.
Because there's nothing to burn under that pea gravel. You can put some benches in, so you can build some places to sit. And you can have a bonfire with just, you and Mel.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be like a mass gathering.
No, you can.
So the bonfire is the fire itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Scalable.
It's scalable. So
Okay.
it can be you. It could be you and Mel. It could be the whole family.
Uh-huh.
It could be family and friends. I mean, it could be the barbershop.
Okay.
Actually,
So-
that's a fucking hell of an idea.
A barbershop with a bonfire?
A barbershop bonfire.
You need mirrors, though.
But that's easily doable. Everybody gets a handheld mirror.
But the light will be total dog shit.
That's
though.
why it makes it even better. We need to do like a a Bronx or like Staten Island black barbershop
That's
at a bonfire. Like, we need everybody. Like, I'm thinking the whole Eddie Murphy crew from, like, I need everybody from Coming to America.
Not for nothing, though, but with that many white people around open flames like that, it's a little concerning.
There wouldn't be any white people.
Oh, it would be a bonfire for that group of people.
Yeah. Yeah, for that group of people, like, you got, like, a bunch of sassy guys in there, all giving each other the business.
Yeah.
But you got one white guy who says something, and everybody's like, shut the fuck up. It's perfect. I'm thinking, like, exactly, like, and they're all talking about, like, baseball or basketball or football.
Yeah, just the normal shit you talk about at the barbershop.
Yeah, like, but you always got the one white guy who says something. They're just like, shut up, Charlie.
Charlie.
That's a good white name.
Okay. Learned a lot about bonfires.
That was just like throwing that out there as like something special. That'd be fun. I'd watch that. Can I come watch that?
The bonfire?
Yeah.
The barbershop bonfire?
The barbershop bonfire? I mean, I don't know what your fade's going to look like when it's all said and done, but
it's going to be fucking
look hilarious.
Yeah. This sounds more like a game show. Like, like a Hell's Kitchen type thing where, like, who can do the best lineup by campfire. I mean, I'm into watch. I would watch that. I think it would probably last. It would last a season on YouTube.
Yeah, but it'd be like Survivor. Because honest to God, if you screw up a fade, I mean, you may end up dead.
Or you may wind up on a tropical island by yourself.
Yeah. Lone survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're set for a bonfire.
Okay.
I think you got everything you need for it.
I'll have to consult my spouse and maybe have her review this recording.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some things that we're missing with her being a lifetime Midwesterner.
I don't know. Like I said, the bonfires, it is what it is.
Maybe we had one at her house, but I feel like, well, I guess it didn't have walls around it. Maybe we did. I don't. She lived on a farm when we met.
Okay.
And there was a fire area. So maybe that's
usually a bonfire. Yeah, if it's outside and there's a fire area and there's no retaining ring around it, that's usually a bonfire.
Okay. Then maybe that's what that was. So maybe I've been to 2 bonfires?
Okay. Yeah, so you know what a bonfire is.
Okay.
You're all set. You've been to, I mean, even if you just went to one for like 15 minutes and then Irish exit out of that thing, you'd still know what a bonfire was.
Okay.
Because every 15 minutes, something different happens.
So people just come and go as they please? It's
Yeah,
kind of like a cocktail party?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Or they'll like...
Oh, okay. So if I go to a bonfire, like how... am I obligated to stay for a certain amount of time?
Nah. I mean, you can Freddy Firewalk that thing, jump the fire and leave. Just be like,
now,
I'm mowing them out.
What if I'm invited and I don't go?
That's fine.
Okay. So this isn't like being invited to, like,
it's not like going to a family reunion.
your goddaughter's christening or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you're just like, I got plans. Sorry, I can't make it.
Okay. So no
Or
offense,
you just don't show up.
No offense will be taken.
There shouldn't be.
Okay.
I mean, you never said you were going.
Okay.
Now, if you said you were going, then you
And you
didn't
don't
show up.
go.
That's a different story. But if you don't,
especially if you're bringing the dickled eggs.
yeah, I mean, well, if you were bringing the dickled eggs and you didn't show up, and you said you were going to be there, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Monday is going to be rough for you.
Yeah, we're going to be around the water cooler. I'm like, where's my dickled eggs, dickhead? And you're going to be standing there and be like, oh, that's belt. Fucking, you just deep-throated it, didn't you? But, no, I think you're set. I think you're set. Be prepared, though, for people to want to go into the house.
Well, I would assume they would have to go to the bathroom at some point.
But some people are just going to want to go inside and hang out in the kitchen. Usually that's where or in the house. Like
Not
the
be
bonfire,
by the fire, because you're gonna smell like.
you smell like smoke.
Yeah.
But and the fire itself will do a pretty good job of keeping the bugs away
Okay.
to a certain radius around that fire.
Okay.
It's usually the people that don't want to sit next to the fire and I don't want to smell like smoke.
Then also like
They're the ones that are
feel
going to
like, especially when it's like at peak flame time, it gets a little warm.
Oh, that heat will radiate.
Yeah.
Like if you do a 10-foot stack of pallets, I mean, keep in mind, you do a 10-foot stack of pallets, you need to get a gigantic magnet. To pick up all the nails and shit.
Okay.
But the people that sit to the far outside are the ones who will complain about getting bit by bugs.
But they won't smell like smoke.
But they won't smell like smoke, but they're also the same ones that are going to want to go inside and hang out.
Okay.
They're usually the...
So why do they even bother coming? Because they said they would?
Because they said they would, or they were drugged there by significant other, who knows, Karen and Becky, they always seem to find each other.
Okay, what do you wear?
Clothes. I mean, you don't have to wear anything.
Yeah.
You can go naked.
Well, I mean, if you're Freddy Firewalker, I'd probably want to have something on,
Well, he may, I don't know. I mean, he may be one of those nudists that likes to get his dick licked by flames.
But sounds uncomfortable.
I mean, he singes off his pubes. Keeps him from having to trim that shit.
I wonder if that's why he goes.
I don't know. It could be. But just whatever. I mean, you don't have to wear a suit and tie.
I mean, is it like...
Cut off suit pants.
Yeah. Tuxedo tie t-shirt?
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. You can wear, dad it up. Get some white New Balances. And,
some white Monarchs. And
and some cargo shorts.
The Hanes socks with the horizontal stripes?
Yeah. But find out if they mowed first.
Okay.
Because
you might want to wear pants. Yeah.
Well, you don't want your white shoes to get turned green.
Yeah.
If they mow, you want to wear your lawn mowing shoes.
Okay.
If you're going to dad it up.
Yeah. Probably don't want to wear anything rubber because if you get too close to fire.
You're not going to spontaneously combust.
Well, what if you fall asleep with your feet towards the fire?
Oh, I've done that. Yeah. As long as you're not on top of the fire,
you're good.
Your shoes won't melt.
Okay.
Like mine did. I was wearing boots and the soles melted.
So, in my situation, I do live in the country.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Is it safe to let someone sleep out there that just had a couple too many wobbly pops and just decides they're going to sleep out there? Do you just let them sleep out there?
Yeah, you can. I mean, they have to contend with wildlife like every other animal out there. So, I mean, skunk comes by and as long as you don't mess with the skunk won't mess with you.
I feel like we're mostly dealing with possums on my property.
Yeah, possums shouldn't be a problem either. I mean, I'd be more concerned about getting a tick if I passed out in the yard.
Yeah, they've been pretty bad this year.
They have been.
Oh, it's not just me then.
No,
they're bad for you guys too.
Typically I can go an entire year without having to deal with ticks.
Oh.
Like last year, no ticks. The year before, no ticks, no issues. This year, I have pulled 2-3 off of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like one climbing up my pant leg, one climbing up my socks, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, felt something tickling my arm, and I brushed it off.
Yeah.
Or thought I did, and I grabbed it. I'm like, oh, it's a tick.
Yeah.
I haven't been bit, but
I don't think I have.
And we keep checking on Benny, but yeah, the ticks haven't been 3 is a lot for me, and from where I live.
Yeah.
Because I never really have tick issues. I had to pull a couple off a diesel, several years ago, and had to use pliers to get them out. But
yeah, we have these little tick remover thingies for all of our animals.
But yeah, I mean, I would leave someone to sleep out there. Just let them sleep it off. No big deal. That's also where you could set up a tent and be like, yeah, your drunk ass is sleeping in a tent tonight. You ain't coming in my house making all that racket and noise. And then you make all the racket and noise in the morning by firing up your mower.
And run it right up against the tent.
Yeah, you just mow around the tent.
Yeah, that's the mower, the bush hog on the tractor. Yeah, when that thing fires up, man, it's not quiet.
Yeah, you just get that thing and
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Yeah, they can't make noise in your house, but you can make noise
In
their sleeping
in my
quarters.
yard. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Huh. I feel significantly more educated on the bonfire
Yeah, I think
phenomenon.
I think your bonfire is going to be really good. I think it'll be an excellent party. It'll be a good time.